descending from the tribe of Africa, inspired by the great black leader.
Vainglorious, this is protected by the red, the black, and the green, with a key. Zoom.
Dynamic, articulate.
If hip-hop has the ability to corrupt young minds, it also has the ability to uplift them.
Cause I'm seeing bright visions of how we should be living. Unified, strong, making our own decisions. Hip-hop city, higher minds will listen. Some won't get it and find time for dissing. But I always been ahead of the preservation mission. So I always been the head of the preservation mission. And one sure way to preserve what we're spitting, preserve what we've written, preserve how we're wiggling, preserve our mixing, our raw sound. It's to finally establish a small hip-hop resort town, a place where artists from all over the earth can come and find peace, can come and spit their verse, can find support of all sorts for arts done for fun to achieve this hip-hop.
Hey, this is your girl Trinny Cee, back live and direct here, First World TV, CCX Media. Big up the crew behind the scenes, and currently I have in the studio with us
Sippizone.
Sippizone. Say it again one more time.
Sippizone.
Loud and proud. In case y'all don't know, you better find out, because I've been knowing. All right, so I'm going to go right into the questions. Thank you for being here today. Happy early Father's Day to you. If you're a father, big up for doing your part in our community. Who are you?
Just a brother trying to make it.
Say that one more time.
Just a brother trying to make it, man. Just a brother trying to make it. I am Sippizone. I'm a music producer, artist, business owner, a little bit of everything, man. Father.
Right.
You know, I do it all, man. I'm trying to, you know, do my part.
Amen. Amen.
Activist.
Nice.
You
I
know?
like that one. Say it again.
Activist.
Yes, you was out here when Mr. Floyd got murdered.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yes.
It's a must.
I was appreciating that. I was watching the lives and stuff and praying for everybody that was out here in the streets. And, yeah, y'all was doing some amazing things.
Yeah, you got to do your part, man. It's bigger than just music for me. You know, if you can get in your community and tell them to support you musically, then how about you get in your community and support them?
And unfortunately, it could easily be one of us.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know.
All it takes is a flick of a switch, right?
Right, yep.
Something different.
It does. It's, Philando Castile took care of my children in elementary at Chelsea Heights, and so when that one hit, my kids actually saw it on CNN. They're like, oh my gosh, that's Mr. Phil. You know, it just, black men have just a different armor of shield that you all have to wear all day long.
Every day, man, and it's crazy. So you go from Philando Castile then to George Floyd. Then what do you do?
Nothing changes. You know, the ones we don't know about. There's probably a few in between that we don't know about, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So.
It's a lot. It's a lot to be who you all are. I pray for you guys on a daily basis. So you've been here. You do music in the cities. You know, you bring happiness to people's lives. I've seen your performances a couple times in the last year. And so, real quickly, who has been your biggest influence and why?
You know, I thought about that question, man, real hard. I ain't gonna lie.
Listen,
because you know, I even hit my manager, and I'm like, hey man, what is this? Like, you know, I'm like, is this musically or just in
just
in
in
life?
General, I mean,
but you know, honestly, I can't. I'm gonna say it this way, you know, musically, I'm gonna say I just love music.
Right.
I'm a big fan of music. I'm a big fan of hip hop. I'm a big fan of just being able to express your feelings because musically, music is like a diary for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you ever listen to my music, I'm not telling you nothing I ain't been through, nothing I ain't seen.
Right.
I'm giving you my story.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of my music, you're a fan of my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would just say just music itself all over, from hip hop to country to know, gospel to just a little bit of everything. So music, just music itself influences.
You like the dance hall and the reggae too?
You know, I love it all, man. Honestly, I love it all, man. Yeah. You know, it all
I
has.
be at y'all events. I don't see you guys at my events.
It all has its place. It all has it. Listen, it all has its place in my life.
It really does.
I'm not gonna say definitely. I love it all, man, because it all gives you a flavor. Yeah. It gives you a sense of culture.
Right. I grew up listening to Metallica. My brother was listening to Metallica, Ozzy Osbourne, Whitesnake. You know, and
man,
I still
you'd be surprised at what I listen to. So it's like if I don't even listen to genre. It's not even a genre thing for me, right? I just listen to what my ear loves.
Right.
So if it hits my ear and I love it, it is what it is. But on the other flip side of that question, right? I would say that my mother influences me. You know, I lost my mother back in 2015, and that's been a big thing for me ever since. Is that every day I get up with inspired to try to impress my mother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They were
Right.
like, well, how
and
can
I'm sure you are doing
yeah,
it.
you know, I try my best to do better than what I've ever done
Right.
the day before.
Right.
You know, to be a better man, to be a better person, period, right?
Right.
And that's I would say that. That's how I would answer that question.
That's the good answers.
Yeah.
Some really good answers. Where are you from, Minnesota? Like, where are you from?
I'm actually from Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Yeah, I'm
Spell
a Southern
it.
brother. MISSIPPI.
Oh my gosh, that was the hardest word. I mean, to this day, sometimes it's the hardest word.
Oh,
when you ain't from America, you born in Canada, raised in Trinidad, and you get that on a test.
Hey, you
you're
like
just
spell
wait,
it?
what? What do you want me to spell?
He did like David Benner.
Mississippi.
M-I crooked letter I, crooked,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You got crooked letter I, crooked letter I, humpback I.
Do you go home a lot?
No, I don't. Not as much as I would love to.
Okay.
And that's just because I have so much on my plate right
Right.
now that I got business-wise, family-wise, that I don't really get to go home a lot. But when I do.
Yeah. When's the last time you've been to Mississippi?
Man, it's been 2.5 years now.
Okay.
Because I went back for one of my aunties passed away.
Right.
And that was the last time I went home.
Right.
But since then, like I said, I've been so indulged with everything that I got going on.
Right.
Musically, business-wise, job, you know, kind of busy. So trying to take some time out to really go. But I am planning a trip home real soon.
Nice. Do you drive or you fly?
I fly.
Fly.
I fly into New Orleans.
What's the scene like down there? I mean, I'm sure it's a lot of everybody down there, but do they have a great musical scene or?
I mean,
Eh.
music is music, right?
Right.
So that's why I say is like we down south.
Different, probably country and stuff more so.
Well, no,
dominates,
it's
right?
hip hop. It's hip hop.
Okay.
But the thing with that is, you know, we get music first down south
Right.
anyway.
Anyways,
so we,
yeah.
you know, we vary in those into
Right.
what the hip hop scene is. But we do blues too. So blues is a big thing too.
Right.
You know, you'll go down there. You got kids here that's listening to hip hop. We was like when I grew up, at least we was
Right.
in like country.
Right.
Blues, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, man, it's just different. So
Yeah.
it's a different
Yeah.
culture shock for you.
I miss going home to Trinidad. I mean, COVID and even Canada, COVID put on that, and then to try and go home to Trinity right now is super expensive. But every time I go back home, it's just like, okay, I know why I'm the person I am.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and being in
it
that heat, and that
gives you back to
food.
who you
And
is.
everybody in the kitchen cooking
Oh, yeah.
and doing
Oh, yeah.
hair or being outside. Like in Trinity, we be outside cooking. You know what I'm saying? Because like the way I think is so tropical, but we'll have pots of food outside cooking and hanging out and
That
everything.
sounds like my type of party.
Man, and just relaxing and, you know, sitting on the ground, maybe
Look,
once or on the curb and just living life.
If you're doing a big group of people going, you know,
Man.
let me know. You know, I
Man.
might
Yeah,
have
we
to take
actually
that
are
trip.
once Carnival gets back up and
Oh
running.
yeah, I might need
Yeah.
to take that trip. Yeah,
We're going to head to a break, but again, I'm here with the one and only
Sippizone.
Sippizone. You're here watching Hip Hop Nation with your girl Trinny Cee, filling in for DJ Divine on First World TV. Big up the CCX Media family. We'll be right back.
What's up, Smoke Dee, House of DJs, Black Medallion Radio. And when I'm in town, I'm always checking out Hip Hop Nation on First World TV. Tune in. Chat bout.
We're back here live on Hip Hop Nation with Sippizone, going into part 2 of our interview. And tell me, so now how long have you been doing music? Another trick question.
Man, you know, this has been a minute, man, because you know,
You don't want to tell on your age.
Because listen, you know what's, hey, you know it's so crazy though, because we started music young, man.
Yeah.
So like the thing is, I never thought I could do music. I'm gonna be honest with you, like listening to Biggie, Tupac, Jay-Z, and all these different cats do music. It's just like, okay, I can't do that.
Right.
You know, so, you know, we used to do the beat, boom, 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 beat on the desk.
Yeah.
You know, I do the
Buckets, all of that.
you know, all that, you know what I'm
What?
saying?
Some beatboxing?
You know what I'm saying? We did all of that. So I just I never got interested in me doing music until I literally came to Minnesota.
Nice.
I kid you not. I was more into poetry,
Right.
spoken word. Like
Nice.
those were things that
Right.
I liked. You know what I'm saying? How you
Right.
could express yourself. But then I came to Minnesota and I ran into a cat or artist that go by the name of Assassin, and he lives in St. Paul. And me and him linked up, and I went to a studio session with him one time. and watch him do his thing. I'm
Right.
like, man,
I could do
probably
this.
that.
Let me hit
You
the
know
mic.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yep.
Billy was the engineer,
Right.
and me and him, I said, man, let me do this.
Let me
He's
try it.
like,
Yep.
man, go ahead.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he the homie, so he like, go ahead.
Yeah.
So I never forget, Certified Love was my first
Mm-hmm.
song. I don't know how I did it. When you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, but I
Right.
did my first song called Certified Love, and ever since then,
Yeah.
it's been there.
That's crazy because when I first came to Minneapolis, I was hanging out promoting shows with this guy, Dimensions. He used to be from over north. His ex-family still has a ex-wife has a beauty shop over there. And so we was just postering and flyering for one of his events, and I went into Five Corners. I don't know if you know what Five Corners was. And this gentleman named Teacher U, big up Teacher U in Jamaica, he was on the mic. And I was just beside him, like lower down and just singing. And he's like, yo, come up and take the mic. And so, I mean, I can do the dance hall like people wouldn't even believe. I just stopped doing it. But he gave me that mic, and then everybody was like, oh my gosh, there's no female here that does this. And last night, actually, for the first time, I got to hit the mic again with Kendra Glenn over in St. Paul.
Okay.
So it's, you know, music is such a stress relief at times, especially when you're on stage performing, making people happy, right?
It's a different place,
Right.
man. Like, people don't understand, like, you get to be free, release
Right.
everything that you
Right.
got going on in life.
You be forgetting sometimes
You know,
there's people out there
Man,
watching.
listen, I promise, like, I'm
'Cause you're
somebody.
just so focused,
Man,
like,
I'm somebody different. Because, like, even when we're recording my
Right,
music, I tell
right.
people, I say, man, like, you see how I can transform from here to here.
Right.
Because that's my place.
Right. What's been your best collaboration so far to date?
Well, I've had 2 great collaborations recently.
I know.
I'm going to say 2. I can't just say one. I'm going to say 2.
I might know one of them.
You know, I had 2
Yeah.
great collaborations. One's with T-Rail.
That's where the show I saw you on
Yep,
last.
yep. So I actually did open up with T-Rail and
Yeah. That was in
whatnot.
September?
Yep,
September,
yep. So we did a thing with T-Rail, and we actually built a relationship. So I ended up doing a song with T-Rail, and every time he come in the city, he come to my studio.
Yeah. You
And
know
we
what's
link
crazy
up.
is I went to that show. I was going to the other show. I didn't realize Underground Cafe was spread out like that. It used to be Visage. I used to go to parties at Visage all the time.
You're right.
But I came to your guys' show
Right.
thinking I was going to support my boy. Well, he's Mr. Hakeem. He used to be the daycare kid provider to my kids.
Okay.
And Kimo Marley. He was down 3 doors down on the other side of the
Wow.
underground. So I'm sitting in here. I'm like, when is it gonna go on? When is it gonna go on? He messaged me. He's like, Trin, you're in the wrong venue. I'm like, no, I'm not. He's like, come 2 doors down. So big up the
man.
Underground Cafe for like
Yeah.
putting on
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
2 shows at the same time.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a dope night. Like I say, I was able to build relationships. But yeah, T-Rail, and then my second one is Boosie. I got a joint with Boosie that's crazy right now.
Nice.
I haven't released it yet, but I will be releasing it next month.
It's summertime. You need to be releasing.
Oh yeah,
some
I'm releasing. Oh, I'm
stuff.
releasing it next
People
month.
don't know. Like, there's certain times
Yeah.
to release music.
Oh yeah.
man.
Oh right.
Come
Right
on.
now is my time. Right now
Right.
is my time. So I'm
Right.
just right now I'm pushing the With It joint with T-Rail.
Yeah.
If you don't know what it is, go check it out. It's on everything. I got all social
Yeah,
media.
spell it out for people so when they look for you,
You
how
can
do
go
you
check
say?
you can actually go look on my website.
How do you spell your website?
www.iamsippizone. It's IAMSIPPIZONE.com.
Right.
Check it out there. It's the first thing. I got it at the top. And it's got a link to a link tree so you can go find it on wherever the song is located. You'll be able to get it. I'm pretty much over everywhere. If you can't do that, then you can definitely go to Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora.
You on everything. Yeah.
Tidal.
Right.
I'm there.
Right. So let me, real quickly, I have a question that I didn't send to you. You have a manager. You are professional enough to be like, I have a team, I have a manager. Educate people on what that means. How does that make you, how does that relieve things in certain areas as far as like you're able to create because you know somebody's going to have your back doing this part of the work?
Man, she
Big up Miss
shouts to
Erin.
Lady Erin, right?
Yes,
I got
big
first
up
say
Miss
shouts out
Erin.
to Lady
I thought she was
Erin.
coming today too.
Well, she actually was supposed to, but some other things came
Yeah.
up. She was supposed to be here, but for the most part, man, she's a lifesaver.
Right.
Having a manager takes a lot of pressure off of you when it comes to every aspect of your career, really.
Right.
I just really want to create and be able to do the things I do as an artist.
Right.
I don't want to deal with, I want to
public
feature
eye
and
all that.
can we book him for this? And like, that's too much for me to have to
Right.
try to worry about, and then I forget.
Right.
She the one reminds me,
Right.
hey, you don't forget.
Because artists' minds are different. Yeah.
You know
You're
what I'm saying?
focused on the craft,
and
right?
then not only
Yeah.
that, just your regular life is
Right.
a lot. So being able to have her helps helps relieve a lot of that pressure. And not only that, it's a professional look.
Right.
You know, you can't just go up to an artist and, like, just think about the industry, period. You ain't never just going to walk up to her. You may see them in the club, but even then, they're going to redirect you.
Right. And that's what you did. I walked up to you and I was like, yo, I need to have you on the show. And you were like, okay, just talk to her. And I was like, perfect.
Hey, because I know she's going to make it happen.
She tapped in right away,
know?
right? So, yeah, but to me, that was an experience like, okay, he's got a team, so he can focus on stage presence, look, sound, all of that. And then from the, from the admin side, you got this person that's really going to make sure
I got people
doing things.
And it would be so crazy. That's why I hate when people get so offended by it. You know what I'm saying? Me saying that. And
right.
Like
you want me to go through a pass-through person?
Like,
almost,
it's not even that,
it's not
man.
Even that. It's like,
I'm going to forget about you. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I'm going to set myself up.
You know what I'm saying? So, and especially if you're trying to book a feature, and understand this, I put so much into this business.
Right.
Financially, mentally, emotionally.
Right.
It's a struggle, right?
Right.
So
it's a huge investment.
Don't get mad when that person say, "Hey man, I'm gonna have to charge you for a feature," or I'm going because it costs for me to do everything I do.
Don't get mad.
Don't get mad when I ask
there's
you
a fee
for the feature, like because it's not free. Because I had to pay for T-Rail.
And gas is $5 a gallon.
Yeah, man, you hear me? Like just to drive to the studio.
Chicken is $10 for a pack, and sometimes you can only get 2 packs at one time if you can even find it.
Right.
This is your girl, Trinny Cee. I'm having the honor of being in the studio with the one and only
Sippizone.
We're going to take a little break and we'll be right back to put a cap on the final interview on Hip Hop Nation, live and direct with First World TV.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is John Jameson with theurbanfly.com. Hey, when I'm in the Twin Cities, I watch Hip Hop Nation on First World TV. That's what's up.
We're back live and direct here in the studio, CCX Media, with the one and only
Sippizone.
Right. So I asked you about your favorite collaboration. Currently, though, like what's cooking in the kitchen? You got some jerk, you got some curry, like what's cooking? You got some smoothies, some sea moss. What's going on? What you got cooking in the lab?
Man, I got a nice little project I'm putting together right now.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed by what I've been able to do. I've been out my bag. So right now I'm just finalizing a few things on it. Like I said, right now I'm started with my singles, so I let the first single out the bag. Second single will be dropping in July.
Right.
I haven't actually locked the date for that single drop, but we'll be dropping the second single with Boosie, and then I'll be dropping the project right after.
Do you have your own studio, or do you have to spend money and rent out space?
I do own my own studio.
Okay.
It's the only way I know how to do it.
Right.
I've never really had to pay for studio time.
There's a lot of people that don't want to pay for studio time, but don't understand how expensive it has. All that equipment, just the mics alone in the studio. Like, come on now, you all.
Hey, the investment is. Hey,
shoot, even the mic cover, like.
You know what's crazy? So that's how I actually started music with my own. I've never went to. I've tried to do the whole studio thing, but back then they was taxing so high. I'm like, okay, well, let me do something. Let me go purchase my own studio, learn how to do this, and then I can help out my surrounding cats and try to help them get where they need to be. And that's been my only thing. I created my studio to help my people.
Got it.
So never to try to tax or blow your head off, but with the prices today, the prices got to go up. So.
And that's the other thing. I be hearing people like, oh, let me just, for video or audio or any type of production, $100. Let me tell you, in corporate America, when you have an AV team in a regular old conference room, just running your sound and some video, it's like $24,000 to $40,000 for maybe a 60-person event. So if you out here and you got some producers that are just charging a couple $100s for a couple hours or even an hour, like seriously, you guys, as an event manager across the world, you all are getting it nice, because literally these people, they be charging and they can.
Oh, man,
and they have to. And then there's taxes on that. There's union, like all kind of different things. So pay people's worth. And a lot of times we give people great, huge discounts when it comes to this industry.
Huge discount. You go to my website, you can check it out, C-Boss Recording Studio. I'm giving great deals. I'm telling you, hey, come and do a 5-song deal with me, 8-song deal with me, 12-song deal with me. I even got a 1-song deal for those who don't want to do about an hour. I'm charging $145 to get recorded, mixed, and mastered.
Right.
Flat rate. So hey.
Okay, so here's another trick question: who's your favorite producer?
Right now, I'm gonna have to say Basehead Productions.
Say it again.
Basehead Productions.
And where are they out of?
Basehead is actually he was in Minnesota. He actually moved out to Vegas.
Okay.
But right now he's based out of Vegas. But co-producer, man, he actually produced my whole project.
Nice.
Yeah, he just produced my whole project. So that With It joint that just dropped, he produced that. The song I did with Boosie, he produced that.
Shout out to Basehead.
You know what I'm saying?
Right?
So yeah, he's definitely in
Right.
his bag right now.
Right.
So I'm telling everybody, there's anybody, and he ain't taxing that bad, you right? If you
And he's in Vegas.
Oh, and he in Vegas.
We're just gonna go to Vegas for a trip
Yeah.
and then hit the studio.
You know,
And
I'm about to do that. I'm
Right.
actually about to go out to
is fun.
Vegas.
Make sure
I'm
you hit up
actually-
my boy Clarky over there. He's a big
Yeah, I'm about to
promoter,
go out there and do that. Yeah.
Yep. And so, you know, the other thing I really want to talk on real quickly is when it comes to production, there's a lot of the young cats don't even know about the mastering process and how long that takes, or the rendering process, right? So Basehead is somebody that also specializes in that mastering process as well.
Yeah, Basehead do the whole thing,
The
man.
whole kit and caboodle.
And we work together.
And that's a whole nother cost, y'all, so don't feel no type of way.
Right. It definitely is. Like,
Right.
you know, people think everything is just quick, and it's
Right.
not, man.
No,
Like,
it's a process.
definitely a process. Like,
Right.
and the reason why it take me so long to drop music now because I'm very picky about it.
Yeah.
I don't only do it myself. You know, sometimes, like right now, I deal with Chris Blood over at Sonic Air Studios, and me and him get together and we work on some things.
Right.
Because I'm just so picky about how my
Right.
sound is.
Yeah.
You know.
In our community, like people will fly all the way back to Jamaica, you know, and like have their stuff mastered. Just
Right.
you know, it's like it's crazy. So it's like there's several layers to music and audio and television and all of that. And so understand with all of that, it's a process, right? So real quickly, do you have any upcoming performances? I know we're seeing us being like Minnesota, man. Like there needs to be. I haven't been promoting parties a lot, and I feel like a lot of other people ain't been promoting parties. But do you got any? Tell us, you got anything coming up?
I'm currently doing the Bando Jones show.
When is that?
That's on July 1st.
July 1st.
I'll be there. I'll be opening up for Bando Jones there.
Right.
You know, because I do my own little R&B thing too.
Right.
So I'll be there doing my thing there. But I'm also putting together some work for the rest of the summer.
Good.
To go out of town.
Okay.
Different things.
All right, so
Yeah.
people can find that out if they want to follow you.
So
on
they
your
go to my
social media.
website. If you
Yeah.
go to my website, I'll be posting all the dates
Got
and
it.
everything of where
Right.
my whereabouts will be. So yeah.
What do you feel about? I saw last night, or was it Thursday night? They canceled the Little Durk concert.
I mean, with the uprising violence in the city,
But all cities are having uprising.
Yeah, but you know,
and stuff.
Minnesota a little different. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, it's been
It's
you're
been
right.
violence, but not this level of violence, right? So it's always
And
been.
I think there's not enough police force to handle.
Yeah,
what's
it's
going
just
on.
not with. Just got to think about everything that's been going on in the city. Period.
Period, not
From
just COVID, but
just,
period.
Just everything.
And
George
even
Floyd.
and Super Bowl, you know, when Super Bowl came, that was one of the things they were trying to focus on is
Right.
cleaning up downtown and trying to, you know, get rid of all the violence and crime, and it's impossible because life is hard.
People gonna do what they want to do.
Gonna go do right,
You know
or
what I'm saying?
they
You
have
can't
to
control
do at
people.
times.
So,
Right, yeah.
you know, a lot of times they always try to blame hip hop for that anyway.
Right.
But to
Really, it's a
gather that
condition
many
of the
people,
environment.
right? But you gotta understand that's gonna happen if they had that concert or they don't have that concert.
Facts.
It's gonna happen. If
Period.
it took control. That means shutting down every club downtown. I'm just gonna be honest with
Yeah.
you. That's the only way, and even then, it's gonna happen because if they got to go to a restaurant or they got to go somewhere
just outside on
downtown
the street.
or they just catching the bus,
Right.
It's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
I understand, but again, you know.
But then, you know, here's the other thing. Where do people then go to get out and just, you know, share that energy and have space to just let go and socialize? Like our mind is already just like this from COVID, right? So I get it from a policing point of view and a safety point of view, but also if you keeping people enclosed, you know what I'm saying? It's going to condition us in a different situation.
Right. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's why you got to get out the city, man.
Yeah, really.
It's
I
time-
know,
it's time
right?
to get out the city.
I'm so glad I'm not from here, even though I
Man,
live here.
it's
I
really
love to travel.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you.
Even if it's to go to Fargo, like
yeah.
seriously.
I'm about to hop out and start making some moves. I'm
Right.
actually getting ready to go make a trip to New Orleans.
Okay.
And do some things in New Orleans as
Right.
well. So
Yeah, NOLA's fun. It's amazing.
My personal DJ actually lives in New Orleans. So
Okay.
I'm about to go out there and do some things out there. So you just about got to get out of the city,
Yeah.
man. You got to do what's best for you.
So thank you for coming in. Is there anybody
always
want to
good.
give us some big ups with shout outs to?
Man, I just want to shout out everybody that supports me, supports the brand, those that I know and those that I don't know. A lot of times we forget about those that we don't know. So I want to say shout out to every last one of y'all. Shouts out to my manager for sure. I just want to definitely make sure that she knows that I appreciate everything that she does. Just, man, the whole team.
Nice.
Shouts out the whole team, man.
Right.
Yeah.
This is your girl Trinny Cee here live and direct, First World TV, CCX Media, Hip Hop Nation with the one and only
Sippizone.
Thank you for joining, everybody.
Yo, it's your boy Sippizone. And when I'm in the Twin Cities, I watch Hip Hop Nation on First World TV.
Hey, this is Trinny Cee live and direct here with Hip Hop Nation. It's an honor to be here in the studio again with the one and only Smoke Dee. And ironically, he actually was on the first taping of Hip Hop Nation.
Yes. Shout out DJ Divine.
Big up, Smoke Dee. So how about, since it's been a while, you let the community know, who is Smoke Dee?
Oh, wow. How do I start, Trinny Cee? I mean, I'm a DJ, an MC since 1983. Been that long putting in, working in community. I had a radio show for about 10 years. I'm a club DJ, producer. I work in the education field. I'm a single dad. I'm a black man trying to survive.
Amen.
in this world today. So,
Amen.
In a nutshell, that's a man.
Where did you start your career? Was it here in the Twin Cities?
Yeah, I started here in the Twin Cities back in the early '80s. I relocated from Cincinnati, Ohio, which was my birthplace, and relocated to Minneapolis in the early '80s, and a product of KBEM radio magnet at North High School.
Nice.
That kind of put me in my direction as far as media.
Nice.
In high school.
Right. Has it, I mean, the 80s, that's when it was hip hop, like real hip hop. Does it seem like you've been in the game 30 years?
Yeah, I can feel every 30 of them years as I age and progress. But
progress is the key word.
Progress. Yeah,
yes,
but it's always been a culture with me, and I always wanted to participate in the culture when I first got into it. No matter what it was, I just wanted to be a part of that culture, that movement, that youth, because it's a youth movement.
Right.
It's a youth movement.
So what was hip hop like in Minneapolis in the 80s? Who was the movers and shakers besides yourself?
Experimental, being that we were in the Midwest, we had to see what the West Coast was doing, especially what the East Coast was doing.
Right.
One of the first people that came to Minneapolis in the early '80s was Travitron.
Nice.
Who was going to the University of Minnesota.
Big up Travis Lee.
And so he was one who kind of brought the culture here, as far as doing parties and rocking at parks and stuff like that. And then also I met another brother from the Bronx, New York, DJ Dee, who was an elder hip-hop pioneer.
Right.
And I met him through my partner, Derek Delight Stevens, who was from Queens, New York.
What up, Derek Delight?
Yeah, so we all branched and connected in the early 80s, and I started to learn the culture from those guys directly. I mean, I knew the music. I've been listening to hip hop since '79 with the Sugar Hill stuff when that came out. So I was able to learn more of the culture, dealing with those guys who were straight from New York. They really schooled me.
Right.
They really schooled me.
That's outstanding. I mean, one thing I love about hosting the show is I learn so much history, especially about the Twin Cities. When I get an opportunity to interview you guys. Tell me what do you think is one of the most monumental moments of hip hop in the Twin Cities?
Monumental? I mean, it's so many different events I can recall on. I think one of the probably the most relevant events that I would say, as far as hip hop as a whole, was the whole concept of the rhyme sayers sound set. Sound set, because they were able to galvanize the whole community, nationally, internationally, and bring it here and package it right here in Minnesota. So that was probably the most groundbreaking. I mean, even though that those guys learned from other pioneers like myself, they were able to take it to a level where they can go ahead and maximize it and bring it to everybody in a large package.
And on so many different levels, not just with the festival, but also with doing stuff. They started out of a basement basically, right? And there's no shame in their game, and doing stuff. And then there was Fifth Element that gave people an opportunity all year long to actually know hip hop, learn hip hop, experience hip hop, and then taking people. They're a label and a distributor, you know what I mean? And taking people and elevating their careers that way. What a huge loss that we don't have that festival right now.
You know
what
it
I'm
is
saying?
a big loss.
Yeah,
but
I hope it returns.
I hope so too.
Because I feel like when I say loss, not a revenue generating loss, but the impact of hip hop on our younger generation.
Yes.
Where's the opportunity for them to be exposed if it's not at those type of festivals?
Exactly. And it kind of shined the light on Minneapolis,
right?
As far as the hip hop culture.
50,000 people.
Yes,
It's one of the biggest hip hop festivals ever.
It was a festival that really gave Minneapolis credibility.
Yeah. Shout out to the Rhymesayers family. Actually, they're actually family. So big up, and then thank you for all that you all have done throughout the years and continue to do. Even though the festival's not happening, I know they're still moving and shaking behind the scenes.
I seen a video with Slug the other day.
Yep.
Shout out to Slug.
Yep. I just know, I remember the first time I took my sons to attend that festival, and they got to, thanks to their older brother, they got to go backstage and be on the golf cart. And for me, the only thing I was worried about safety is because there's so many people, but I knew they were safe.
Yeah,
and
it was a safe environment.
Exactly. I just stood up at the top of the tower one evening and just took it in, and I was like, people don't understand what goes into producing events and the labors of love. And literally it takes 364 days after the day, so big up to them. Again, this is your girl, Trinny Cee, live and direct with the one and only Smoke Dee, who's been making impact and creating waves, not only in the Twin Cities, but around the U.S. for the last 3 decades. And we're going to come right back.
You sound old, 3 decades.
I think I like it. I see, now, I don't even say old. I say seasoned or
veteran.
Or pioneer.
Yeah, okay.
And you know what? I'm fine with if somebody calls me old because I'm still here. Just don't call me expired. You know what I mean? When I'm expired, then it's a whole different world. Then we're like, oh, I'm going to come visit you, Stone. And, but, call me what you want as long as I'm still relevant, right?
I'm still relevant.
You're relevant.
I'm still breathing.
You're still breathing.
True.
All right, we're going to come right back, and we're going to talk about what he's currently doing in the Twin Cities and how he plans to share his knowledge and his passion and his works continuously, or maybe he doesn't. I don't know. We'll be right back. Again, this is Trinny Cee live and direct on Hip Hop Nation with the one and only Smoke Dee.
What's up, y'all? Ezekiel on the beat, and I'm here kicking it with y'all at Hip Hop Nation on First World TV. Glad to be here. Come back.
Hi, this is Trinny Cee. Again, I'm here with the one and only Smoke Dee, who actually has had the honor of being on the first taping of Hip Hop Nations with DJ Divine. So I didn't know that. So this is
a couple years ago.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah,
this is outstanding.
Yeah.
So again, we were talking about hip hop's Smoke's career in hip hop and here in the Twin Cities. You mentioned that you were on the radio. Can you tell us a little bit about your radio experience and how that has elevated? Did it elevate your career at all? Did it give you more visibility? Did it make you a celebrity?
It gave me more visibility. I never wore the celebrity tag. Yeah. But radio, like I said, I started at KBEM Magnet radio program at North High School, along with my partner Derek Delight. Disco T was one of the participants too.
Yes, hi Disco T.
Yeah, so we went on. I went on and interned with Pete Rhodes at CBLS, which is an early cable radio station that broadcast from downtown Minneapolis, and I was an intern. So, I mean, I learned the inside out of radio production and editing through Pete Rhodes, and then I went on to school at Clark Atlanta University, mass communication major, where I did some more broadcasting down there. And then when I relocated back to the Twin Cities, I reconnected with Derek, and we started a show on KMOJ, Friday Night Smoking the Light Show, which ran for about like 7 years. Yeah, so I mean,
Was it the KMOJ on Olson Memorial or the KMOJ on
KMOJ in the projects?
In the projects, right?
501 Bryant Avenue North.
That's where I first started.
Yeah, yes. So that was a real big thing back then, because we were able to we were able to salute and showcase a lot of local artists back then.
Yeah.
Because during that time, the game, Minneapolis had got a little traction.
Right.
You know, we had a couple artists that came out of Minneapolis to go on and do things.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of young cats that were trying to get in the game with no avenues open. You know, we're not on the East Coast, we're not on the West Coast.
We in the Midwest.
We're right in the middle. So it was
in the middle of the tundra.
In the middle, you know.
Right.
So a lot of artists, a lot of dope artists,
Yeah.
you know, they just didn't have any outlets. So, you know, Derek and myself, we took it upon ourselves to give these, you know, these artists some outlets.
Right.
You know, we were always good for, come on to the station.
Right.
You know, oh, you got a new song, let me check it out. You know, if it's dope, we'll play it. If it ain't, I'll tell you it ain't dope.
Right.
Come back and bring some more dope stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, KMOJ was a big pillar in the community, because it's always been community first.
Right.
I don't know what's going on now, but anyway, it was always a conduit to the community.
It really was, though.
Yeah, me and Delight, we
Yeah.
really used that platform to showcase a lot
Right.
of cats and give cats just a voice in the community.
So
Yeah.
you talk about all those artists that you gave a platform, and of all time, who is one of your favorite Twin Cities hip hop artists?
Oh, hands down, my favorite is Muja Messiah.
Yes, big up Muja
Muja
Messiah.
Yeah.
I need to see him on a stage
Yeah,
soon. I know he's
ill.
doing his thing. He's taking care of his family.
Yeah, he used
you know
to be
what I
with a
mean?
group called Raw Villa. Those
Yeah,
cats was
yeah.
real dope too.
Yep.
A lot of casting came through our way. I mean, it's really too many to name, but
Right.
probably Muja and probably OSP is probably my
Yes,
two
OSP,
two favorites from back
yeah.
in the days. Yeah.
So, how do you think hip hop do you think there's been a change, you know, from the 80s, the 90s to now with hip hop? Has it gotten stronger? Has the dynamics changed with to me, it's just like a lot of auto tone in the music.
Yeah.
I don't see like, you know, like similar to a dance hall. When you come into a dance hall, the selector is there.
Yeah.
You got the dance hall queens.
Yeah.
You got just this
Yeah.
vibe. You got the clothes. You got the attire. You got the dancing, the battles. What do you think the status of hip hop is currently?
I mean, it's making more money,
Right.
from the 80s.
Right.
I think it's gotten a little diluted, because you get so much of the same thing versus back in the days when everyone was original. No one wanted to sound it like the next person. I think you get too much of the cookie cutter right now, where
Right.
everybody's riding the same wave. But it's still hip hop. It's a youthful culture,
Right.
And the youth are embracing it now, and some of them are taking advantage and knowing the business much more than some of our
Okay.
predecessors knew
Right.
the business,
Right.
knew how to navigate
Right.
through this business, knew how to monetize it.
Talk
So
about that.
yeah, so
Yes.
it's
So
like
they've learned.
They've learned.
They've
You
learned.
couldn't help but learn.
Right,
You
right.
can't help but learn.
And there's a lot of people that just have their own labels and are doing their own
Yeah.
things and don't have to depend on Warner
Don't have
or
to
whoever.
be dependent on anybody.
All right.
Yeah.
So they've learned from our mistakes, or they've learned from our traction, and
True.
definitely it's more viable and feasible to them.
It
Hopefully.
is. It
Hopefully.
is. It
Yeah.
is. It is. I mean, they always say that, you know, the youth are taking it for granted.
Right.
And I kind of think
They
that
probably said that back in our day.
yeah,
though,
they
too.
did too. They
Right.
did too. But I think the difference is, back in our day, you know, early hip hop, and speaking for myself, there was no blueprint.
Thank you.
There was no blueprint.
I think in music there is no blueprint in general.
blueprint.
We could talk about the artists that
Yeah.
were before and the artists that are current, but you know, in music and in the entertainment world, you can create your own path all
True,
day long if you
true.
allow yourself to do that.
True.
If you stay and try to do other people and you know copy, then you're not gonna make your own way. But
That's true. That's
yeah.
true. But I know, you know, we used to do a lot of research and studying, and kind of learn the music business.
Right.
Kind of learn what the artist was. Kind of learn, you know, I remember just looking on album covers just to see who was the engineer.
Right.
And who
Yes.
was, just,
kind of
you know,
like reading the credits
the
at the end of the movies.
Yeah, the credits were
right.
important.
Doing your homework.
The credits were
right.
important.
And then actually listening, you know, actually listening and taking an understanding of who am I bringing in the studio? And, you know, your music is good, but I think you could do some work there. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think you have made a difference in our community with all of the labors of love that you've given us, as far as DJing, as far as hosting, as far as being on the radio? Have you made an impact in your mind?
I believe I made an impact. I believe I've been able to touch people with my abilities. I believe that I've been able to put a smile on people's faces.
Yes,
you
I
know,
agree.
Change their mood,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, I think I have made a slight impact in the community.
Slight?
Slight impact.
Nah,
you
your
know.
name is large, Frederick.
Yeah, it's a slight impact.
Your name is large. I didn't know that you've done so much, and it only makes sense. I think people think when your name is out there, it's just like, but to hear your history and to hear what you've done and to hear the different levels that you've done it on is amazing. So thank you for your contribution. We appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
All right, we're going to come back and talk about somebody that was very, very, very important. This is Trinny Cee, and I'm here with Smoke Dee, and we are on Hip Hop Nation.
What's up, y'all? This is DJ Lazy T. Like I said, when I'm not on the phone downloading or not getting chased by one of my kids, I would listen to Hip Hop Nation, First World TV, with your man, Bake Show Baker, DJ Divine. Let's go!
Hi, we're back. Hip Hop Nation, Trinny Cee, Smoke Dee, and we're getting ready to talk about somebody that's made a huge impact in hip hop. And we just got the news yesterday evening.
Yes, tragic.
That he passed away. So rest in paradise to the one and only Biz Markie.
Yes, Marcel Hall, his government name.
Government name. What, I mean, I had the honor of meeting him in Edmonton. I don't even remember how old.
Oh, word? Edmonton?
Edmonton, Alberta,
Okay.
Canada. I don't even remember how old I was. I would just remember, those lips.
Those lips.
But, you know, what is Biz Markie to hip hop?
Biz Markie is the embodiment of hip hop. He has brought so much joy, so much pleasure, so much flavor through the culture.
Continuously
Through the culture, and he's done things his way.
His way.
He never conformed to, okay, you got to be a rapper.
Right.
Okay, you got to be a beatboxer.
Right.
You know, he was able to embrace the whole culture of hip hop, which is many facets:
Right.
rapping, breaking, DJing, graffiti.
Beatboxing.
He was able,
He beatboxed too, right?
Oh, he was a beatboxer. That's how he came out.
Yes.
That's how he came out as a beatboxer.
Yeah.
But he transformed and elevated to a complete artist.
Wow.
And it's a real big loss.
Great.
Real big loss to the community.
And for you guys that don't know, I like to touch on this because unfortunately I've had to deal with it as a caregiver. He was suffering with diabetes.
Yes.
And diabetes in our community is similar to high blood pressure. It is a silent killer.
Silent.
So especially our men of color, our women of color, you need to go to the doctor, take care of your health. Because once you get something like diabetes or high blood pressure, it then starts to affect your kidneys, and it's a wrap. So at a young age, I know y'all are all here partying, you're doing your thing, lots of water, go to the doctor, do your physicals, do your annuals, and conversate about it. Because I think for us to stay relevant in the industry, we've had so many losses in the hip hop community.
Losses.
And not even to the COVID, just to like that life, you know? You're gonna be on the road, you're gonna do this, make sure there's salads, make sure there's fruits, make sure the craft services you have is, you know, lots of water, lots of nuts, but diabetes, you know, and just, again, so young, in his late 50s.
Yeah, 57.
Right.
57.
So we're dying quicker. Do you think that he had it, with him creating so many different paths, that it was harder for him because he could do so many different things?
What do you mean by harder? What do you mean?
You know, I can host an event, I can promote an event, I can create an event, I can run my own sound in my event. And with that, people think you're so strong and that you're so talented, but it's also a burden to carry that strength, all that weight.
Yeah.
So, and with carrying all that weight and, you know, sometimes having to do it alone so much, or maybe you have your partner by your side, it can make you sick. So do you think, you know, having the pressures of him being able to do so many different things in our industry continuously, he wasn't just a beatboxer, right? He was also an actor. Do you think that, that having, when you wear so many hats, it can be stressful and harder than what society thinks it is?
Yeah, I'm sure it was a lot of stress on his shoulders, a lot of weight that he was carrying. But I guess, you know, as far as health-wise, I don't know what his health concerns was, but you can overlook taking care of your health when you're always
trying to make other people happy,
trying to make everybody happy on the road, because he was always on the road. You know, so yeah, I mean, I'm sure that had some bearings on it, and I mean, as black men, we suck that up and go. You know? And unfortunately, we don't take enough time. We don't take enough time to check on our health and our welfare. But we just, you know, used to going until you know, one day we can't go no more. So,
and also not putting gas in the vehicle, you know what I mean, in our self. And when we talk about gas, self-love, meditation, time out. True. So, Biz Markie, what is one of your most favorite moments of his career?
Wow, I think the first time I heard Nobody Beats the Biz was a big song. And the first time I heard Big Daddy Kane was on Biz Markie's album Just Rhyming with Kane. So he brought out Big Daddy Kane. And he was innovative because his music had satire, you know, it was comical, it was funny, it was funky. Overall, it was funky. You know, Biz was the hell of a producer. He knew his beats. He knew the music that would move you, and he wasn't afraid to be himself. On, you know, Just a Friend, we all know Biz can't sing, but he was blowing on that song. He was blowing on that song. He made it work, man. So it was just his ability to be a chameleon and go into other areas and be successful out of it. But yeah, those Nobody Beats the Biz, Just Rhyming with Kane. A lot of songs. The Biz is going off. You know, Reagan was a press, but I voted for Shirley Chisholm. You know what I'm saying? Just to drop jewels, like, and who was Shirley Chisholm? You go back and look and see who Shirley Chisholm was. You know, so
that knowledge.
He was a real MC, a real b-boy, and a real successful entertainer. You know. Tragic.
In order, maybe not in order, your top 3 favorite hip-hop artists.
My top 3 favorite hip-hop artists? Wow, probably Kane, KRS, and it's a tie between Rakim and Chuck D, Public Enemy. That's my top 3. My top 3.
So if people want to find you, are you on social media? How do people find you?
Yeah, they can find me, Smoke Dee on
DEE, right?
DEE.
Smoke Dee.
DEE on Facebook and on Instagram. You know, you can hit me House of DJs 1983 Gmail.
Nice.
Is you know how you can reach me, and I'm out in the community.
Any big events or projects coming up that you're on?
I'm DJing, so just look out for the name. You know, I'm still trying to stay relevant out here. House of DJs, Black Medallion Radio, also on Mixcloud.
I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you, again, schooling me on yourself as well as hip-hop in general. I'm honored to have you in first time, so this is actually your second time?
Second time.
All right. I'm honored. I didn't even know that. And I pray that you continue to bless us with all of your talents and presence for a long time to come.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, this is Trinny Cee with the one and only Smoke Dee.
Trinny Cee.
Live and direct here on Hip Hop Nation.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Holla back.
Yeah.
Holla back. Cow.
Hey.
This the mix.
Being that, you heard me say I got this. Remember every time I talk shit and then packed it up and acted up and lost my chips? Well, fuck bad vibes, stay optimistic. Tell me this can't hit the populace quick. Tell me black sheep won't fly, imitators won't fly, radios won't pop to this shit. Take the world, then the universe lake is just a pearl. On the grand scale, she's just a girl and I'm just a man who love to stay but adjust the plans. Just a chance a nigga make it. Just enough, I take it all. Blast up a big loaf, break it off. Can't walk to the sky if you're afraid to fall, my nigga. Fear not. Hey, looking like victory. Fear not. Looking like victory. Hey, fear not. Hey, looking like victory. I said, fear not. Looking like victory. When fear not. Oh, right now we're the underdogs. Soon we'll be the Thundercats. Like keep that under wraps, but don't go. Let them think that we'll go broke. We fear not because we know 50s are stacking, my singles rising, Benjamin spilling all over the floor. Plant big laurels, trees below. This snatch these labels up by they throat. Claim I'm more than they can afford unless they pay me for each note. And if I'm inclined to sign that dotted line, you know I hand out more than hope. Becoming colossal with every quote. Paint a Picasso with every stroke they foe. I fear not. Hey, looking like victory. Fear not. Looking like victory. Hey, fear not. Hey, looking like victory. I said, fear not. Looking like victory. When fear not. Feel a little drunk, I feel a little high, and I find myself in this situation. You look good, so I'm feeling like finishing this conversation. Pull your body close to mine. Know you feel this elevation. Tonight is slow down time. Feel that sensation. Touch of temptation. Body vibrations. Oh, oh. Queen of creation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel that sensation. Feel that sensation. Feel that sensation. Turn up the genuine. Turn down your hesitations. Everything gon' be alright. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This ain't just another night. I feel tremendous. Intoxicated, mixing like a chemist. I'ma take you home. My bed is vacant. Once I taste it, you gon' feel that sensation. touch of temptation. Body vibrations. Oh, oh. Queen of creation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel that sensation. Feel that sensation. Feel that sensation.
612-377-3456. We definitely gonna have a good time today. I have this light-skinned dude in the building right now. He's called the one and only Black. Oh, the dark-skinned dude. My bad. What's up, Black?
What up with you, my dude? How you feeling?
Oh, man, I'm good. If you could get close to that mic right there.
How you feeling? What a feeling. You know what I mean?
What a feeling?
What a feeling,
Yeah,
man.
something like that, right?
That's what today is all about.
That's what it's about?
What a feeling.
Okay. I see y'all rocking y'all heads with me. Y'all feeling what I'm feeling. Okay, D-Mac. You gonna vibe with me on this one, dog? Let's see.
It all started when I was a little boy, while the other kids were playing with toys. I heard this beautiful sound. It came from out of my mama's living room. That's when I knew what I wanted to do. Let me express it to you. What a feeling, what a feeling. Oh, y'all, what a feeling I get when you come around me. Hey, hey, what a feeling, what a feeling. Oh, y'all, what a feeling.
It's my number one
I
love.
get when you come around me.
Hey, yo, I feel good. Cause I love her, she feel good, cause she loves me too. I love being in the studio alone with her. I love writing, composing new songs with her. I put pride in all my work, all my play, and she always hit me when I got something to say. Never ask about money nor where I stay, and she'll always be down from state to state.
What a feeling, what a feeling. Oh, y'all, what a feeling I get when you come around me. Hey, hey, what a feeling. What a feeling, oh y'all, what a feeling I get when you come around me. I can feel the blues in my soul, the hip hop in my bones, the R&B, it makes me happy and saddens me, and even the gospel. Oh, I just raise my hand, I say that I thank God for the music He gives. Oh, what a feeling. What a feeling, oh, y'all, what a feeling I get when you come around me. Hey, hey, what a feeling, what a feeling, what a feeling, oh, y'all, what a feeling I get when you come around me. I'm letting you are my first love, and I would trade it for nothing in the world of you. What a feeling, oh y'all, what a feeling I get when you come around me. Came around me, hey, hey. What a feeling, oh y'all, what a feeling I get when you just come around me. Just in case you just hear me the first time, I'm letting you know. And I would trade it for nothing in the world, oh you. When you come around me, oh, what a feeling, what a feeling, oh, y'all, what a feeling I get when you come around me. You gotta know it, you gotta know it, you gotta know it.
Welcome to Hip Hop Nation, where we discuss anything and everything hip hop. I'm your host, DJ Divine. Welcome to the show.